Oh,
All right.
Rocky.
He's calling in right now.
Okay.
Don't see him up there yet. Nope. You know, worst case, I can bring him in over my cell phone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get started here soon. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they call him back.
Can see him but can't hear him. Right?
I don't know.
That was just me testing.
Okay. Maybe I'm gonna have to drive over there and give him my cell phone, call him myself, hand it to him.
Still not working here.
All right. So I just repassed him all the information. And I told him worst case, I'll go ahead and bring him in on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's still not working either.
Do you have internet at all, Ellie?
Who?
Do you have
Can't hear you,
internet at
Rocky.
all?
Yeah.
Just my microphone.
Oh,
And
Hey,
if
Rocky.
I click on me, it comes up my empty desk.
oh. Okay. You know what? The meeting number I wrote down is different. Wait. That, I have 954. I see the meeting call, but the other number is different. See that, Chris?
That was the updated one. We sent him an updated one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
and he
right.
was getting into the meeting room, but it wasn't accepted. Hey, Rocky, you want to go ahead and say something and make sure everyone can hear you?
Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Can you hear him?
I mean, I'm there, everything's unmuted. Problem is,
Okay, that's good. We got you though. We can see you and everyone can hear you.
Okay. I have the prayer, Rocky. So, okay. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Let's rise for a moment of silence, a prayer, and a pledge of allegiance. Oh God, thank you for the gift of this new day, and thank you for the blessings of this life. Family, friends, work, and purpose. Guide us as we discuss, plan, and dream together. Help us to make wise and just decisions. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Okay.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held December 10th, 2020, with a correction to agenda item number 20-597, the second round of the COVID-19 County Relief Block Grant, eliminating therapeutic massage services of Carbon County LLC, since this entity was previously awarded a grant in the first round. You're getting too much feedback.
Move to approve.
Mr. Arner?
Rocky,
Mr.
say yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Report of executive sessions, or I'm sorry, guests. Any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Report of executive session held.
There was one executive session held on December 15th at 3 p.m. for real estate.
Next item is final adoption of the 2021 budget. For adoption, the 2021 budgets inclusive of the following: operating funds budget, expenditures totaling $48,632,979. Capital project fund budgets, expenditures totaling $10,232,053. And special funds budgets, expenditures totaling $3,335,117.
Wayne, could you second that?
Oh, okay, I didn't even hear Rocky make the motion. I'll second it.
Discussion. Jeff, could you just clarify for me, please, where in the 2021 budget are the funds that are being allocated for operating costs of 44 Susquehanna Street once the renovation is complete this summer?
Right now, it's in the rental property fund 1211, and there's also some in the general fund because some of those will be paid in the general fund, but they're in contingencies and in the line items, not in a specific 44 Susquehanna. It depends exactly who ends up in there and when it starts. So we didn't budget it. We didn't budget the exact line items. We budget for it in contingency.
All right, thank you, Jeff.
Yep.
Okay.
Any further
Mr.
discussion?
Arner? No, excuse me. Sorry.
It's all right. Any further discussion? Okay, call for the vote.
Mr. Arner?
yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
For adoption, The budget resolution number 20-039.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
For adoption, the tax levy resolution number 20-040.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner? Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Department reports. The budget transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
There were no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures, approval of check number 217651 for expenditure through the general fund clearing account out of the capital projects fund for $14,359.50.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Approval of check numbers 217652 through 217752 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $762,494.40.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
The treasurer's report.
Move to approve.
Mr. Arner? Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
The personnel report.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Adult probation. For ratification, the purchase of two 2020 Interceptor vehicles under the CoStar's contract number 013-196 from Rotet Motors Incorporated at a cost of $40,875.97 each, for a total of $81,751.94. This cost will be reimbursed from the Electronic Monitoring Fee Fund.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes. Whoa. Rocky's there. I just seen him for a moment. Okay,
Okay, advertising. For approval, authorize the advertisement of the Carbon County Annual Salary Board meeting to be held Monday, January 4th, 2021, convening at 2 p.m. immediately followed by a meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Next item, authorize the advertisement of the 2021 holiday schedule as listed.
Honored to approve the holidays. That was
Second.
second, Rocky.
oh, okay,
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Authorize the advertisement setting the 2021 meeting schedule for the Board of Commissioners, Salary Board, Election Board, Retirement Board, and Prison Board as listed on your agenda.
Move to approve. Rocky, can I get a second?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear you on that one.
Yeah.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Boards and authorities, Industrial Development Authority, reappointment of Barbara Green of Lehighton, Pennsylvania to a 5-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
That was a yes.
Okay, Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Children and Youth, for approval and execution. Addenda to extend the rates of the following 2019-2020 purchase of service agreements for 180 days from the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020, or until finalization of the fiscal year 2020-2021 contracts as listed.
Move to approve and execute. Second, Rocky. Mhm.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
For approval and execution, the fiscal year 2020-2021 purchase of service, in-home service provider agreement with Clear Vision Residential Treatment Services Incorporated of Montgomery, Pennsylvania, as per the attached rates.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Communications 911 for approval. Request received from the Communications Director for a proposal from Radio Maintenance Incorporated of Reading, Pennsylvania to upgrade the current CCTV system at the tower sites under Pennsylvania CoStar's contract number 040021 at a cost of $25,915.21. Act 12 funds will cover the cost of this purchase.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
The county engineer for approval, the reappointment of Carbon Engineering Incorporated as the county engineer and acceptance of the 2021 professional fee schedule, which represents no increase.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Hey, I'd like to, if we could, because I was unable to get into Tyler Financials yesterday, and then this morning, the website wasn't providing the access remotely. So unless it's going to cause a problem, I would ask that we could table this 1 week just so I could pull out the vendor reports from Tyler to review. I understand the cost hasn't changed at all. Don't have any problem with continuing the contract, but I prefer to have a chance to review the numbers before the actual vote.
So is there a motion to table then?
That is a motion to table.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Arner, Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Courts computer information, for approval and execution, a 3-year agreement with Penteledata to upgrade broadband internet service cable modem located at the courthouse at a total cost of $264.90 per month.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Information technology for approval and execution, upgrade of service with a 3-year agreement with Penteledata for internet access via cable modem with monthly reoccurring fees, $246.95 per month. The IP blocks $14.95, modem rental $3. This is an increase of $122.95.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
That was a yes.
Okay. Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Insurance for approval, a proposal from Housing and Redevelopment Insurance Exchange for workers' compensation insurance for calendar year 2021 in the amount of $345,050, which represents a decrease of $72,298.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Planning and Development for approval and execution. Change order number 3 to the contract with APM Construction Incorporated of Lansford, Pennsylvania for Parks Recreational Facilities, Ginter Field Rehabilitation Project Building, Summit Hill Borough, fiscal year 2016 and 2017. Due to changes to the contract, the cost was increased $1,100 for a new total contract price of $113,250. The previous revised contract amount was $112,150.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Fair Housing for approval, execution, and submission of the fiscal year 2020 Fair Housing Annual Report as required for the Community Development Block Grant and Emergency Solutions Grant programs.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
A service agreement for approval and execution, software maintenance agreement with Esri Incorporated of Redlands, California for the year 2021, listing the charges as follows: assessment $400, elections $300, liquid fuels $10,900, 911 $3,500, for a total cost of $15,100, which represents no increase.
So moved.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Reynolds Business, service agreement with Reynolds Business Systems of Allentown, Pennsylvania for equipment in the Archives Department for 2 Minolta reader printers, 4 Canon reader printers, 2 ALOS planetary cameras, and 1 Minolta planetary camera for a total cost of $9,874. This represents an increase of $288 from 2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
The Solicitor's Report?
Thank you. Pocono County's WIA for approval and execution, fiscal local elected officials agreement with the counties of Monroe, Pike, and Wayne, designating Carbon County as the fiscal agent for funds received under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act for Pocono counties as required by Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry. The term of the agreement will be January 1, 2020 through December 31, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Further business?
Under further business, I'd like to make a motion to ratify the disaster emergency for December 16th, 2020, due to the snow emergency.
Second. Can we have a second?
Yes.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Commissioners' reports, Mr. Arner?
None at this time.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yep, let me just grab my notes. First, I want to make mention of highlighting item number 20-570, the next to last paragraph in regards to our schedule for forthcoming or 2021 meetings. The next to last paragraph highlights that the county for those meetings will be receiving public comments via email up until 9 a.m. The day of that particular meeting. So I'd ask special attention to those due to the limited access to the county buildings at this time. If you need to make public comments, you have by 9 a.m. of the day of the meeting. I want to also emphasize to the public, those awardees of the second round of grants, all the grant awardee letters have gone out. I would ask that you return those, complete them, and return those contracts back to the county as soon as possible. We'd like to start approving the disbursement on the 24th during Christmas Eve commissioners meeting. Oh, lastly, we've had some concerns about some potential inconsistency in access to offices within the county buildings. The commissioners, we are doing our best to ensure that the offices are being consistent with the public access rules, and based upon the concerns from some residents and business entities, we are examining and doing some research to ensure that all offices are providing the access that is required to facilitate the continuing, operations of businesses, and not to create and to ensure we're not responsible for any delays that might occur in any type of service we should be providing. That's all I have.
Mr. Notstein?
Yeah, I agree with Commissioner Lukasevich there. We cannot afford an outbreak or any worse than we already have in our county offices, and we're being extremely cautious. I know it's an inconvenience, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. It seems to be getting brighter with the vaccines coming out, with the possible Madero company being approved possibly today, and help get that vaccine out to the public earlier. So I know there's a big concern with the reactions from watching the news. They're very few and far between. So hopefully we don't have many of those whatsoever. The good thing too is it looks like things are getting closer to another round of relief grants. I know our businesses in Carbon County, well, throughout the whole state, Commonwealth, we're going to lose a lot of businesses if they don't soon get to open up their doors and relax some of the restrictions on them. I have to agree in particular with the restaurants. And in particular, I think they're taking a lot better or a lot more precautions in protecting their diners and everything. And I know it's difficult in the big chain stores and everything to keep sanitizing, but I think the restaurants do a heck of a job. And the percentage I saw was very low. Where the state gets their numbers, I don't know. But if we don't get some relief and get some of these businesses backed up, back up and running. I was watching, we're talking with the commissioners in Monroe County, and I know they're losing a lot of their restaurants. And if they don't get some relief soon, we'll lose a lot more. So that's all I have.
Wayne, would you mind making a comment? We received a letter in regards to an area of agency on aging employee this past week. I had that on my list. I just missed that. Do you want to speak to that maybe just for a sec?
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't recall all the details of it, but we did get a letter from one of our consumers, family members, and praised what our area agency office has done for their was the mother, I believe, of a family member, and how they did everything they could in helping this family out. I don't know. I don't recall some of the other details, Chris, unless you do.
Oh yeah, and I just happened to have it highlighted, and I apologize. I missed that when I came in. But again, it was recognition of our area agency on aging support staff or staff supporting specifically Donna Shelley, who helped the gentleman secure the pharmacy assistance with a local pharmacy, saving him at least $200. And these were both, elderly senior citizens, so that $200 really means a lot too. And what he said, he thought she went above and beyond, and he thought it was is necessary for him to single out someone who was out of the ordinary for service. So that was Donna Shelley from the Area Agency on Aging.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, Chris. Okay. Any other comments? If not, we do have another meeting, so I'll adjourn the commissioners meeting. And if everyone is ready, we'll call the monthly meeting of the retirement board to order. And at this time, I'll turn the meeting over to our chair or our secretary, Mark Sverchek.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I did first want to commend, and I should have did this under the commissioners meeting, the Board of Commissioners. Could you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, for all the positive things the Board of Commissioners has done in dealing with COVID-19, and also for conducting the virtual meeting today while the county government is closed. I think it's important that we're still conducting business virtually to get important things accomplished, including county business and retirement board business. And I personally thank you all for that. And okay, so we're going to start. The other thing I would ask is that as people make motions, could you please state your name so I don't miss anyone making a first or a second motion? Because I do have some trouble hearing Rocky. Looking for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held November 19th of 2020.
I'll move to approve. This is Chris.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
second it. It's Rocky.
Okay, Mr. Sverchek, yes. Mr. Sheehan? Can we hear him? I can't hear Ron. Can anyone hear Ron?
See, I see him. His phone is there. So he's kind of self-muted.
Okay, and you just blanked out there, Chris, too. Okay, and Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, and Ron is unmuted now.
Okay. Did he vote? I didn't hear anything.
No.
Yes, I approve the minutes.
All right,
Thank
thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron. Any guests concerning retirement board business? Hearing none, we'll move on. A report of executive sessions that we did not hold any executive sessions. Next will be to ratify the warrants of checks number 40643 to 40648 and direct deposits 7009996 to 7010382 for the month of November.
Sec, Chris, second.
Who was first?
That was Rocky.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sverchek, yes. Mr. Sheehan? I don't hear him.
Yeah,
Yes.
phone. Yep, there it is. I was a
Mr.
yes.
Okay. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, next we'll move to the November activity report. And there were 2 retirement refunds, 2 superannuation retirements, and 1 retiree deceased. Wanted to mention Gilbert Gerhard, former treasurer of Carbon County, passed away. I know he served as treasurer for quite some time. I want to thank him for his service and express our sympathy again to his family. After the disbursements for the month of November, the portfolio valuation was $86,341,294, which is another all-time high for us, which is wonderful news. And also in your packet, we typically try to get more recent performance. So there is a statement in there as of last Friday, December 11th, where the valuation is $86,994,278. And I believe Sarah will be joining us in a little while to go over some things. Okay, next, annually, we set the interest rates each year for the retirement members' accounts. So for 2021, I was looking for a motion to set the interest rate. We've been at 5.5% for many years, and I don't see any reason to change that at this point.
This
So I'd
is
be looking
Chris.
for a motion to approve that.
Chris makes a motion for the interest rates.
Was that Rocky second?
That's
Yeah.
correct. Mhm.
Okay. Mr. Sverchek, yes. Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
And Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Thank you. And also annually, we reimburse the 2020 retirement administration expenses to the general fund. And from what I see, the action is taken at the last meeting of the year, but it doesn't actually happen until probably around April, until all the final expenses are in for 2020, including the fourth quarter billings from Marquette and December billings from some other of our entities as far as our managers go. But the motion should be done in the last retirement board meeting of the year.
Do we have an estimated amount there, Mark?
Last year, Wayne, it was 234,000 and change, and Treasurer Sheehan asked me for an estimate, and it's a little difficult to estimate because we're in the transition year with OCIO. I was saying between 275 to 300 is my best guesstimate at this point.
Okay, thank you.
But even though, of course, we have the increase due to OCIO, I think that in retrospect, moving to OCIO with our, I think, very good returns more than makes up for any increase in costs.
I'll make the motion that the retirement fund reimburse the Carbon County General Fund for all retirement administration expenses for the year 2020.
Thank you, Ron. Is there a
Chris
second?
second.
Chris, second. Okay, Mr. Sverchek, yes. Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Then the last item under retirement activity, it looks like we typically discuss the cost of living every year, and we're required to do it every 3 years. And I don't believe there has been one in the last few years because of the economic conditions and the lower rates of return. So I just needed to bring that up to everyone. Does anyone have any questions on that or any interest in taking any action?
Mark, could you go into a little detail on what the impact would be of a 0.08 cost of living adjustment, which is based on the CPIU up through November?
I don't have 0.08, Chris, but from a letter from Korn Ferry, our actuary, I think I shared that with everyone from October, their forecast based on the cost of living estimates for the CPIU that they use, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland, would be 0.4%. And the impact on the fund for the people who retired 2019 and earlier would be $160,999. So 161,000 for all intents and purposes. That would be the impact of that modest increase if it was granted.
I wonder, Mark, if we shouldn't maybe table the discussion, through the next meeting, so we all have time to look at it and see what impact any serious consideration of adjustment might make.
That's fine. Is there a second to table?
I'll second it with the comment, is that something we can, we can table it and discuss it, but we wouldn't be taking any action anyway. So I don't see what precludes us from holding any conversations from throughout the year or at any meeting. It's just that I think we have to do that at the last meeting of the year. I might be mistaken on that.
Yeah, that's my understanding, Wayne.
Yeah.
It's my understanding also, Wayne, further on in the letter, it looks like the increase to the required contribution would be $61,910 over the cost of years 2021 through 2023. If you were to hold off on doing anything until January, I believe it would have to be made retroactive to include the January payment.
It's Sarah Wilson. Can I just jump in real quick?
Sure.
One of the things I would do is that, you have to look at this once every 3 years. You're required to, you can look at it every year. And whether you decide to do this or not, when we look at the impact, while it's not that much, and it's actually low. So if you were feeling that you needed to do this, when you look at what you're doing it off of, it's relatively low, but it is something to always consider when you're doing this, is to look at the funding, look at the impact on the actuarial, not just this year or the next year, but also look on it. This is going to be long-term, so it will have an effect on contributions, your ADC, the funding of the plan, but you're in a very good shape. And just keep in mind that you are actually coming off of a 2019. You had a great year. Fingers crossed that you're going to have a good year this year, or, it's not as drastic as we think. But going forward, when you go look at reviewing this in down years, it's going to have much more of an impact. So I just want you to have all of those thoughts in mind when you do look at this.
Yeah, I would probably add, Sarah, you're exactly right, that anything we do of this nature has a compounding continual effect on the demand of the fund.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, right.
But I agree. I wasn't aware, and Ron made the comment that we could discuss it, and probably you said retroactive, Ron?
I believe so. Sarah, have you had any experience with that?
Yes.
With other counties?
Yes. You could go back and retroactive it if you wanted to get more. And the one thing I would do is that if you are considering this, I would go back to Korn Ferry or actuary and saying, let's look at the effects 5, 7, and 10 years out on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I could request that for sure. All right,
Just so you
so
have an understanding, and it's not saying that you don't want to help retirees, especially we know cost of living's going up. We know that eventually inflation's going up. I just think that you should have all the facts in front of you before you really, before you make that decision.
Okay. All right, we have a motion, so to discuss it
motion-
further.
Okay, we have a motion at table by Chris, second by Wayne. Mr. Svercek, yes. Mr. Sheehan,
Yes.
Mr. Arner,
yes,
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I did not have any correspondence to report. Solicitors report, anything?
Nothing additional.
Thank you. Investment manager report. Sarah, any updates for us?
There's just a couple, real quick, I just want to touch on. In December, we decided, when we looked at all of our OCIO clients, we actually did take down your high yield position from 2% to 1%. And when we talked about that, we had put our clients in that was short term. Normally we haven't done that, but because spreads were going for fixed income, we just wanted to get a little bit of a boost. If we see high yield coming back and being, looks like those spreads are going to go further, then we will possibly jump you back in there. The other thing is we took gains. So we actually were able, what the benefit is that you were above your target. So we just trimmed slightly and we're able to take some of those gains. And then the other thing that, is going forward, we know that we've got, next quarter, the quarter after, we're going to be looking at doing some adjustments to the portfolio. We're going to talk about maybe getting in line, reducing your Morgan prime property real estate, and then talking about infrastructure, being able to fund that, how we're going to do that. And the other thing, GWK, I just want to point out, that's a mid-cap growth. And since you've had them in May, they're up 35%. So even though it's a small thing, that was a really nice position we were able to get you in there. So we'll continue to monitor the portfolio, look at where we are year end. Obviously it's the holidays, but we're still all working. So we will definitely keep you honest if anything is going on. But you look like you're right on target to end the year. And hopefully the market will just kind of stay where it is, or maybe possibly even go up. And that's about it. Are there any questions?
I don't have any. Anyone have any questions for Sarah? Hearing none. Thank you for joining us, Sarah.
Well, I just want to wish everybody a very happy holiday season, and here's to a wonderful 2021. We all hope. Fingers crossed. And again, I've enjoyed working with the whole board this year, and very thankful that you have, put your trust in Marquette, and we'll continue to try and do the best job we possibly can. But really, best wishes for everybody to enjoy this holiday season with their family, and everybody stay healthy and safe.
Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you,
everyone.
Sarah.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas.
thank you. One quick comment, Sarah. I think we all want to thank Marquette and all the employees there at Marquette for doing the donation to various organizations on our behalf. And we really appreciate that. I did reply to, I forget the lady's name now, Liddy. And I don't know if the messages got back to you or not, but I think the public should also be aware that Marquette, or one of our investment managers or portfolio managers and that have gone out of the way and did donations to some of our local charities. And we thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, I would second that as well. Very nice. Thank you. Anything else under further business? I would just like to also take a few minutes at this time to wish a Merry Blessed Christmas to all of our retirees and employees. It's been a rough year for a lot of people, and I hope they all are able to enjoy a good Christmas. Thank you.
Same to you, Mark.
Thank you.
and to everybody.
Yes. Could finally hear you, Rocky.
I think, to tell you what happened, I bet you Wayne came up and cut my speaker or my microphone somewhere. Because he
No, I
always
would've
says
cut
I
your
talk too
camera.
much.
Okay.
I saw-
Any
I
further
saw-
business?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Okay. Hearing no further business, meeting's adjourned. Cut myself off too soon there.
Yeah.
News media. Do we still have Marie Johns on the line?
I am here.
Good. Well, we're going to let you go first since it's been so long.
Oh, I feel so honored. Thank you. Okay. So how do we get correspondence these days? I'm interested in getting that letter about Donna Shelley. Can that be emailed or do we have to send somebody out?
Yeah, when we get back to the office tomorrow and the staff are there,
Okay.
we can have that scanned in and sent to you.
That would be awesome because that would be something that could be followed up on at some point for a nice story if they're interested.
Sure.
Okay. The relief grants that you mentioned, Wayne, in yours, do you have any firm idea of what the next round of relief grants is going to be?
No, I don't, Marie, and I should have said that. Just watching the news again this morning, like I try to do in the morning, and it appears that overnight they have gotten closer to some kind of an agreement. At this point in time, we don't have a dollar amount. We don't know what it's going to look like. We're hoping that a lot of the things are in the next round of grants for small businesses, et cetera, are there, and that we'll be able to do more grants. I hope they loosen up some of the things in those grants that were overlooked last time, like us in particular. One of the problems we ran into was the local volunteer fire departments that were registered as a 501c4 instead of a 3, and that made them ineligible for the grants. And I certainly think it was an oversight, but who knows for sure. And it's just little things. I hope they can work those bugs out and make the grant round a little easier. Hopefully it won't be as confusing as the last round of grants. If everyone recalls that, the grants were announced and we were struggling. It was changing by the minute. We were always getting different directions from the Department of State or not Department of State, but from the people in Harrisburg and how it was going to be done, and changes what you can and can't do. And I know our two people, Rhonda Wendrich and Jeff Weiss, who was on the call as well, have, and Rocky and Chris more so than I did, have put a tremendous amount of time into that grant rounds, and the volunteers we had to serve on the different committees to try to make it as fair as possible. But how it's going to look, I don't think any of us have a clue at this particular time, but there is some hope that we will have some more relief coming.
Okay, so the letters that Chris, you mentioned that they went out and you need responses from everybody by the 24th. Was that the end of the money that you firmly had in hand?
Yes, that's correct. There's kind of what we call a contract that the recipients must sign. And once we receive those that contractual document back, then we go ahead and put on the agenda to make the actual disbursement or to cut the checks to those individuals.
Do you have any idea how many number of businesses were in that last round of grants that the letters just went out for?
Yeah, right about 80.
About 80?
Yeah.
And,
It's
like
just over $1
ranging-
million. It's just over $1 million, up to 23,000 is what we granted on this round.
Just over $1 million.
Yep.
Okay. And all kinds of businesses, anybody that could qualify that was in that pool, I assume.
Yeah, all eligible recipients who met the requirements for this particular round.
So is there still a list of people that were waiting and couldn't get in, or did you divide the money you had amongst the people that needed it?
Every eligible recipient did receive the amount for which they qualified, up to either 100,000 on the first round or 23,000 on the second round. If you go to our portal, On the county commissioner's website, all 308 recipients are listed there and shows the amount they received, are entitled to receive, as long as they, complete the contractual documentation and get it back to us. So that's both first and second round combined. It's all on our website.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
On the inconsistency to access to the buildings, was there anything in particular that prompted that, or is it just some complaints you've gotten here or there?
No, recorder of deeds. I'll be honest. I'll say recorder of deeds, title searchers, and then a couple individuals who concerned with doing some closings, some people who were doing closings, that there might be some delays. Now, the Board of Commissioners, we did send an email out to Pat Riley and Greg Zern. So we're talking Mock Chunk Trust and JTNB, our local lenders, to kind of get a sense if there is any adverse impact. And we'll be reviewing the input from our local lenders and other entities, next week to see if any modification to existing access policies may be required.
Got it. So just basically growing pains with all of the changes of what's had to happen because of COVID.
Right, with understanding, and Wayne clearly stated, we're looking out for the health and safety of both the residents and our employees, and that has required some actions that have restricted access to some offices.
Okay. The signing of the declaration to ratify the disaster emergency for the storm. Anything in particular? What does that do for the people? I guess explain what that would do for the people of the county.
Well, the basic thing is that should there be any federal disaster declarations or funding become available for emergencies for reimbursement, that helps us get that funding. Basically, we're not like municipalities when they declare it, they have their snow emergency routes, etc. We ourselves don't have any of those, but it does help us when we do have to close the county offices that for necessary snow removal and the safety of our employees getting home and coming to work.
For sure. So anything in particular that any of you are aware of that happened overnight about the storm? Anything?
I have not heard anything from, I talked to emergency management and the comm center last night. They notify me if anything major happens, as such as major power outages and wires down or major road closures. I know we had one on 209 for a while. I'm not even sure if the road was closed and the Packard and Dip there with a jackknife tractor trailer. Minor things. I have not heard of anything major other than the dwelling fire in Tamako, where we have some of our units from Carbon County respond to that incident. Other than that, I think it was all minor issues throughout the county.
Okay, cool. The one item, just looking for a little clarification, the communications 911 proposal for radio maintenance. Is that just something updating, or is that something new that?
That was for the Esri. That's I think that was the
CCTV system at the tower sites.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's go back. Forget the details. Gary's not on. I have to. Yeah. It's just a maintenance contract.
So it's nothing new.
No, it's nothing new. It's just upgrades to the system. It's the security system at the tower sites. Okay. We've had problems at various tower sites throughout the years, breaking into the facilities, stealing copper, damaging equipment, etc. So we put security systems in, cameras, alarm systems, and that's the CCTV system that is at the tower sites now. So that and they're monitored at the comm center. Should the alarm go off, they'll have video coverage, etc.
Chris, you had made a special point of bringing up the public comment changes for the next year. Is that something you want us to put out there, that if people are interested in taking part in commissioners meeting or have public comment, how they can do this?
Yeah, of course. We value the input that the public provides, and we want to ensure that even given the temporary challenges facing with access restrictions, we want them to have that opportunity to comment. And so we would greatly appreciate the media, putting that front and center on any notifications or anything that's published or broadcasted.
Perfect. Okay, we will do that. And the budget. Can anybody wrap up the budget for me and tell me, give me some insight, not being on top of what's been going on? Budget-wise? Just
Okay.
saw
Jeff, Jeff, do you want to make comments, or one of the other commissioners?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Do you want to, Jeff? Go ahead, Jeff.
Whatever. The budget has not changed from the proposed. There was actually no adjustments from, I think it was 4 weeks ago when this was adopted or proposed. I guess the major issue is no tax increase.
Right.
Right.
I don't know what else you want to say. If each of the commissioners wants to chime in with specific items, that's fine.
I would just say we have yet to determine what amount, if any, for annual pay increases. However, we have it built within the contingency fund should the salary board on the first in the beginning of January make that decision.
Okay. And well, and the question about the Susquehanna Street building, was that just to ensure that the money's there? You're just not, you don't have it in line items. You're not sure when that's going to be dispersed or how?
Well, that's in the capital budget. That's under those capital funds that you saw in there, that expenditures in the budget,
Yeah.
about 10 million. That's where that funding is at. That's through a
Yeah.
bond.
The capital funds are, and once the offices are actually in operation, then the money will be moved in to pay for the ongoing monthly utilities, cleaning, any of the expenses that go for that building. Once it's determined exactly who's in those buildings and when they move in.
Right. And so what is the latest plan and timeline on what's happening at that building?
Well, the timeline, I think we're still looking at probably about August, September, I believe, is our timeline if everything goes well. We're still planning on moving the elections. I think with what happened in the elections this year, and even before we started the construction, one of the things we brought up, we were planning on possibly 2 offices downstairs, but before the purchase for the new equipment was made, it was determined that we're going to need a lot more space just for storage of the voting equipment that we acquired. It took up a lot more space than the previous equipment, the computers, the touch screens, a lot more paperwork that we had to have plenty of ballots on hand, etc. If you saw, and it probably will drop in the upcoming elections, except for presidential years, the amount of mail-ins, and I think that's going to continue. So we needed a lot more space for, or will be, need that space for the counting of ballots, because at times we had 4 and 6 additional office staff members in there from other offices or part-timers in just to try to keep up with all the additional work with the mail-in ballots. And that went for about 3 months, I'd say. But this building itself does have a meeting, larger meeting room built into it on the first floor where the garage used to be, and that certainly will be used by our elections. The whole floor is going to be occupied by elections, and the second floor will have the Workforce Investment Act people in the office, as well as planning and development on the second floor.
Oh, cool.
If I could make an additional comment on elections, just so everyone is aware, elections did start their temporary relocation, their movement to 410 Center Avenue in Jim Thorpe. They'll finish that up on the 23rd of December. That's the relocation to 410 Center Avenue, which is the Jim Thorpe Area School District office. And we'll be doing a press release next Thursday once their move is complete. so that everyone is aware of that temporary relocation until 44 Susky is complete.
Okay. Sounds good. Did I miss anything?
I
Did
don't
get
know.
enough questions in? I think I'm
Well,
done.
okay, well, it's nice talking to you again, Marie. It's been a long time, so.
Yes, it has.
Alyssa, yeah, too long.
Yep.
Alyssa, you have any additional?
I'm on Alyssa's. I'm Alyssa.
Oh, she's not there anymore.
No,
Okay,
she's not.
I thought she was sitting in with you. All right, Amy. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Marie. Good.
Yep, I'm
Okay.
good.
Amy, Times News.
Hello. The
Hello.
only thing I have is, how are things going in the office buildings with the whole COVID cases that were going on?
Well, okay, let me give you a little update on the update we got on. It really got bad in November, as I think everyone knows. At November 30th, we had 24 that had tested positive, and we had 118 out at that particular time because of isolation for possible exposure to people that may have had COVID. That's over a third of our 300 employees, full-time employees. So some offices were hit extremely hard. So as of now, latest figure we had yesterday was upper 30s, almost 40 people now, or employees that had tested positive to date. Most of those people are back to work. You know, we had to go through the routine. As soon as someone tested positive, we had to isolate, wait, get them tested, and before they could return to work, just to protect the rest of the employees.
That is all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay, Kelly.
I don't have any questions other than, are we having a meeting next week on Christmas Eve?
Yes, there will be a meeting. Okay.
I will see you all next week then. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, will be the same link next week as we have now. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so everyone save their link for this week's meeting, and we'll be doing it by Zoom again, whether we personally will be back in the offices. We hope so. Hopefully we don't get another major snowstorm. So any other questions by the news media? Okay, stay safe. Don't overdo it out there. Take plenty of breaks shoveling that snow, and see you all again soon. Take care. Stay safe.
Ellie, Wayne, and Rocky jumped off.
Oh.
Did you tell them to stay on?
Well, I sent the email. I guess they didn't read it. I'm going to have to
Yes.
call them.
Yes, she did tell them to stay on.
Let me, you want to text them?
Yeah. Wait.
I'll just say, come back on. Hold on, I'm going to go ahead and I got to stop this.